Taylor Watch. Welcome back to another episode of Taylor Watch. Happy Thursday.
Hey, happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Kind of a gloom and doom day in New York City and seemingly going into our Memorial Day weekend. Which
I know.
It is Memorial Day weekend. I keep forgetting that it's popping.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
It's early this year,
Yeah.
you know? Like we still have like a week left of May after
Yeah,
it's done.
it feels
So
weird.
Feels weird, feels silly. A little reminder, we're going to obviously talk at length about clowns and everything that's going on in the rest of this episode, but reminder for next week, programming-wise, our episode is going to come out on Tuesday, so we were recording on Tuesday as well because we want to make sure that we see whatever, if anything, happens at the AMAs, it will be included in Tuesday's episode.
Yep.
So a slight delay on Tuesday, but it's so we can get everything that happens on Monday and also Memorial Day, traveling, etc. So that's that. You know, and then another programming note is the fact that we were robbed yet again. We weren't robbed. We weren't totally robbed, but normally we have a big Pink Whitney set up in the middle next to us, but because of the room that we're in, we have an issue with Barstool right now, or at least I see it as an issue, that there is not enough space to record podcasts, and everybody has a show, and we have a schedule, and we all usually keep to our schedules. And there's like a thing where you sign up and whatever, it's all fine. But once you're in a room, like you're in that room and other people can't just like come in and out of that room.
Yep.
Yesterday we had to be in a different room than we usually are in, and we have our thing that sits here. We couldn't bring it back in to save it for the next day. So now it's stuck in the other room and there's like an interview going on. So we can't bust in. So because Pink Whitney is in such high demand that we have to literally hide it in the podcast studio so no one will get it. Gia graciously found a mini on her desk to represent.
This is my break in case of emergency, Pink Whitney.
So we've got
so we got our little guy holding us down.
Our little Pink Whitney holding us together. Mighty. Small but mighty, covered in friendship bracelets, which somehow makes it cuter to me. I actually love that. I love that it's covered in the bracelets like that.
And
so yes.
I was also thinking, what a way to show the different sizes that Pink Whitney has. There's so many different ways to enjoy.
I didn't know they made this size.
Yeah,
I assume that's a fifth, I believe.
I believe this is. I think this might be a little bit smaller. Than a fifth.
What is
this
in between?
This is 375 milliliters.
I can't think what's in between a fifth and like a nip. It's that.
It's this.
Whatever that is, I can't think of it.
But
in college, we'd always buy a fifth for ourselves.
Exactly. There's so many different ways to drink Pink Whitney. I like this. I'm going to read. It says, the Spit and Chicklets crew has taken over New Amsterdam vodka to create a spirit inspired by Ryan Whitney's favorite drink.
Yeah.
Award-winning New Amsterdam vodka mixed with fresh pink lemonade. The result is an exceptionally smooth, great-tasting pink lemonade-flavored vodka.
Cute.
Not a big deal. Enjoy straight or with club soda.
Perfect. Well, you guys have already known this. We've been telling you all along. But it is the creme de la creme. The creme de la creme. A fantastic drink to have on the rocks or not, mixed with your favorites. Mixed with some seltzer for a little bit of a bubbly pink lemonade, vodka if you want, all of the above. Go ahead and get yourself out to the liquor store, buy a 20-shot bucket, bring it home for you, your friends. We had a caller be like, oh, my mom and I are having Pink Whitney. You're telling her I'm going to get 3 20-shot buckets for my mom's 60th and make her have one every day.
Yep.
That's going to be great. So, shout out to Pink Whitney for being our number one bestie on the pod, as always.
Yep. Make sure you guys are taking your shot with Pink Whitney.
Woo! Love it, love it, love it. So we are, of course, we're in the throes of clowning. Until the AMAs happen, we're just going to be clowns. And the clownery continues with the removal of the 2-ish minute, I think it might have been like a minute and 45 seconds. Like I forget exactly how long it was, but the clip that everybody was freaking out about from The Handmaid's Tale playing Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version, went out on many a social account and all video evidence has been deleted.
Which I don't really understand.
So here's what I think actually.
Did it get deleted from like the main Hulu?
Yes. It's been deleted from everything. So or like the video is unavailable or whatever. So, but here's what I think. And I don't think that this is something to clown about. I think this is the fact that I couldn't believe how much of that show they showed in that clip. Like that was like a pivotal moment in the show.
Right.
And they showed like 2 full minutes of it. So I'm sure they did it for maybe like a promo purpose and then took it down so people will watch the show. Like I think it's as simple as that. I don't think it's if it's something else, that'd be crazy. But the only thing that makes people extra suspicious is that UMG themselves tweeted like, here's a taste of Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version. Or no, it was look at a, hold on. I think they said, here's a taste of Reputation, Taylor's version.
Yeah, that's what they said, I think.
Yeah. And so, which to us is like, all right, interesting. Sure. Capital R. So people are running around being like, UMG has confirmed Reputation Taylor's version is with a capital R versus the lowercase, which is what it traditionally is. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah,
I think we're reaching a little bit on all this. I think it's obviously going to be Reputation capital R. She can't do Reputation lowercase. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the copyright, right?
But even if it's Reputation Taylor's version?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess not, because all the others are.
Yeah, because I feel like
maybe because Reputation, or no.
I feel like UMG like low-key might just have their capitalizations on. You know what I mean? Like auto caps.
Yeah,
on.
they might have just right. Like it might literally mean nothing. Like we're really not even sure. But my thoughts about it being lowercase, it could be copyrighted as lowercase. You know, like all the other ones were copyrighted as uppercase. But I feel like you.
Yeah, but then you would have to say that she would have to do them lowercase. You know what I mean? I don't think like the upper.
Maybe you can't copyright uppercase, but you can copyright lowercase. Like, you know what I mean? Like her only other lowercase albums are Folklore and Evermore. So I don't know.
Right.
And Midnight's is.
I just feel like it's.
I
just feel like it's probably
just
not
them
with
being
the
proper.
copyright, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's uppercase just because like Taylor's version has always been uppercase,
yeah,
so maybe it would like look weird.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't really know either.
This I could give a shit about this.
I don't really care about the upper
care.
lowercase of
Neither
it all.
It's never crossed my mind. It's never bothered me. Never been something I've like thought about.
I honestly like before we even recorded, I was like, wait, it's lowercase.
Yeah,
but then I realized like, because like the songs aren't lowercase. It's just Reputation.
Just the album.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's
just the
what
album
I was
name.
confused. Yeah.
Whereas that's the difference between like Folklore and Evermore, where everything is lowercase. Songs.
I do like the way that it looks with the lowercase R.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But it's it's not a make or break, certainly for me at the very least. So, whatever, who cares? But the first taste part is what people were freaking out about, being like, it's UMG, credible source, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, like, UMG, credible source. But at the same time, UMG,
also, it's not the first taste.
It's not the first taste. They also know that there are a bunch of clowns at UMG. Yeah. Like, we don't love UMG
like
either.
With
UMG,
Taylor Nation, even now we have Garage Beer in the mix. Like, people know that if you tease whatever, like if you clown whatever, like people are gonna be like, oh, what does this mean? Is this an Easter egg? Whatever. So you're obviously bound to get like more attention and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it helps them. It helps UMG. Mm-hmm. Taylor Nation obviously helps Taylor with whatever, like just keeping her name popping and stuff, you know? So
totally.
I would take all of this stuff with a grain of salt, obviously, but like UMG, like that's a pretty big thing, I feel like. And then for them to delete the whole post.
The delete is what
interesting.
Is raising eyebrows. Not sure why we're deleting. Again, maybe it is because of that video, and with the video being taken down, it's like, why keep the tweet up? But I don't know. I'm not going to move on that one. I'm just, I can only put so much energy into certain things. Yeah. And UMG's deleted tweet is not one of those things I'm going to get involved in. But you were right in the mentioning of Garage Beer. But quickly before Garage Beer, Handmaid's Tale, also the night of or the day of this episode premiering, tweeted out a picture of Elizabeth Moss and I can't think of the main guy's name. The two of them at the Eras Tour. Yeah. Being like, damn.
They said, I just saw it. They said, fun fact.
Yeah, here it is. It just says, fun fact, the cast of The Handmaid's Tale are proud Swifties. Episode 9 drops at 12 a.m. ET, 9 p.m. PT. Are you ready for it? Wink face. And it's a selfie with with Elizabeth Moss and oh shit, I really cannot
And the
remember his
guy,
name.
I forget his name too.
He's from Billy Madison, like he's that guy.
Yeah, he's like the
He's Eric.
rival guy.
Yeah, he's Eric and Billy Madison. It kills me. I should know his name. That's a guy I should definitely know. But regardless, so we missed that Easter
Bradley
egg.
Whitford.
Bradley Whitford, thank you. We missed that Easter egg, and then Garage Beer themselves were like, oh, they said, I'm sorry, I can't come to the phone right now. Why? Beer. Haha. Like, okay. Sure. Thanks, Garage Beer, for getting in on the fun.
Garage Beer. They just listen again with the promo. I just feel like it's a good time for them to jump on.
Why not?
Jump in, throw their names in the mix. But yeah, I feel like it's really hard to. There's a thin line, I feel like, between like, oh, is this an Easter egg, or is this show just using Taylor for a good promo? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like ready for it. Like we're gonna throw.
And obviously,
these
she was
little...
allowed to use the
Yeah,
they were allowed to
yeah.
use the song in the show. So why not?
Why
use
not?
that for
Yeah.
part of the promo, especially when it's a penultimate episode, and I do believe it's the last season. Like I think that's like the series finale. Let's see.
I would hope so. I feel like at
Handmaid's
this
Tale.
point, how much longer can it go on for?
Season finale.
But I guess if they're just like
series finale, I'm looking for.
If they're just like starting this war or whatever, I feel like it could probably go on for a few more seasons.
For sure. No. It is the series finale.
Okay.
So, which I knew, I think, in my soul. But yeah, so shit is about to get fucked up. Everything's happening. Look What You Made Me Do is playing. People who have been watching religiously, I got a couple DMs. People who were watching religiously say that it did fit in the moment and that it was cool and it was kind of like, oh fuck. Like, it didn't the clip alone did not do it justice. So I might jump back in and catch the last, season and a half, whatever I'm behind on. But because it's a really good show. So I don't know. It seems to be all good in the hood over there.
Yeah, I mean
despite the plot line of forcing women to have children.
Right.
So,
despite that whole thing.
Obviously. Something else came across. Two things as well came across my desk. Uh-oh. What happened? Stain?
I just ripped a hole in my sweater.
No. Oh my God. How?
I think from this thing. It was like.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Damn. Well.
That's a beautiful sweater.
Good thing I have another one.
Holy
I literally
shit.
ordered two by accident.
Oh yeah,
so
maybe because it's like hanging on you have it so
Good
close.
thing I'm also wearing a bra.
Yeah, for real. That means Nip City.
Yeah.
Do you hold it that close to you always?
Like no, it's because
it's a
it's
fucked
having
up
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. Again, and we're always in this. We're always.
So I was like placing it against my shirt, and it just. Well.
Damn, I'm sorry.
You know what? Don't apologize to me. Apologize to Abercrombie.
Yeah, damn.
Actually, like kind of crazy that this shirt just had a hole. Like the. Fuck?
I for real can't believe that just happened. Like that is a crazy. These are. I mean, it's not sharp.
No, not at all.
What the fuck?
Ugh, whatever.
Anyway,
nothing's easy. Literally,
nothing is. No, literally everything in life is hard, and like, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about your shirt, but two things came across my desk. One was it was the tweet/statement that Taylor put out in November of 2020 regarding her re-recording and putting out all of her new music. And I just kind of thought this was an interesting reminder looking back, especially after everything we were talking about last episode about how people are like, maybe wishing for like more of a problem so they can say that they've been here for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when we were talking about that a little bit. Just to put in perspective, like what she went through and how this whole project has become something, past her wildest dreams, but also this is what we should like be thinking of and focusing on, and instead of like trying to act like we're there for her right now, and it's like we're there for her now, but like this is a totally separate thing for her, why she's doing it. So she says on November 16th, 2020, I wanted to check in and update you guys. As you know, for the past year, I've been actively trying to regain ownership of my master recordings. With that goal in mind, my team attempted to enter into negotiations with Scooter Braun. Scooter's team wanted me to sign an ironclad NDA stating I would never say another word about Scooter Braun unless it was positive before we could even look at the financial records of BMLG. That's Big Machine. BMLG is Big Machine. Music label? BMLG. Whatever, sorry. Look at the financial records of BMLG, which is always the first step in a purchase of this nature. So I would have had to sign a document that would silence me forever before I could even have a chance to bid on my own work. My legal team said that this is absolutely not normal, and they've never seen an NDA like this presented unless it was to silence an assault accuser by paying them off. He would never even quote my team a price. These master recordings were not for sale to me. A few weeks ago, my team received a letter from a private equity company called Shamrock Holdings letting us know that they had bought 100% of my music, videos, and album art from Scooter Braun. This was the second time my music had been sold without my knowledge. The letter told me that they wanted to reach out before the sale and let me know, but that Scooter Braun had required that they make no contact with me or my team or the deal would be off. As soon as we started communication with Shamrock, I learned that under their terms, Scooter Braun will continue to profit off of my old music catalog for many years. I was hopeful and open to the possibility of a partnership with Shamrock, but Scooter's participation is a non-starter for me. I have recently become re-recording my older music, and it has already proven to be both exciting and creatively fulfilling. I have plenty of surprises in store, with an emoji with sunglasses emoji. I want to thank you guys for supporting me through this ongoing saga, and I can't wait for you to hear what I've been dreaming up. I love you guys, and I'm just going to keep cruising, as they say. Taylor. P.S. For transparency and clarification, I've included the letter of response I sent on October 28, 2020 to the private equity group who purchased my music. And this is more what I wanted to read. October 28th, letter from Taylor Swift. Dear Patrick, Jason, and Laura, thank you so much. Hold on. I feel like it's super small text. And I feel like my eyes are like literally. Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I think I can. I think the white on the black is better than the black on the white.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much for your letter. Upon reading your kind words, I was thrilled with the idea of working with people who value art and understand how much my life's work means to me. I immediately began to plan all of the ways we could work together on expanding and protecting my music while maximizing the outcomes for all involved, especially my fans. So regardless of the fact that this was the second time my masters have been sold without my knowledge while I was actively trying to purchase them, your letter brought me a great deal of hope for my musical legacy and our possible future together. This is why I was so disappointed when I learned that under the terms of your acquisition, Scooter Braun and Ithaca Holdings would continue to receive many years of future financial reward for my music's masters, music videos, and album artwork. If I support you as you request, I'll be contributing to these future payments to Scooter Braun and Ithaca Holdings. I simply cannot, in good conscience, bring myself to be involved in benefiting Scooter Braun's interests directly or indirectly. As a result, I cannot currently entertain being partners with you. It's a shame to know that I will now be unable to help grow the future of these past works, and it pains me very deeply to remain separated from the music I spent over a decade creating. But this is a sacrifice I have to make to keep Scooter Braun out of my life. I'm very sorry he has put you in this position. I wish this could have been a better outcome, and please do let me know if you or your firm is ever completely independent from Scooter Braun and his associates. I feel the need to be very transparent with you. I will be going forward with my original re-recording schedule, and I will be embarking on that effort soon.
Will she, though?
So, wait, what?
Original re-recording schedule?
Oh, yeah. Right. I'll be going with my blah, blah, blah schedule, embarking on that effort soon. I know this will diminish the value of my old masters, but I hope you will understand that this is my only way of regaining the sense of pride I once had when hearing songs from my first 6 albums, and also allowing my fans to listen to those albums without feelings of guilt for benefiting Scooter. Sincerely, Taylor Swift. This is 2020, okay? I read this, and I remember it in real time. I don't know if it impacted me as much as it's impacting me right now.
I didn't even realize how much, obviously all the beef is with Scooter, but
of course.
I didn't realize how much she put out there in the post,
Oh yeah.
And that letter was very much a little sassy almost, I would have loved to work with you guys.
For sure.
But you chose Scooter, so I'm out. I won't even breathe near him.
100%.
Yeah.
I also think I think there's a level of sass, but I also more think it's a level of integrity where it's listen, I would have been so happy to share.
No, 1,000.
Or
do
some sort of, you know what I mean?
But
anything.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I can't do it with Scooter. If I was Shamrock Holdings and I got this message from Taylor Swift, with that
Oh my
end
God,
part,
throw up.
with that end part where she's like, and just so you know, I'm still gonna do my re-recordings, so it will devalue whatever you're about to buy with Scooter Braun. And these people did it anyway. It sounds like so. Or no, I think I read somewhere that they maybe pulled out. Or hold on, let me actually look at this. No, I thought for some reason I saw something that was like, and Shamrock ended up not going through with it. But I think
sure they did.
I think that they did. And but yeah, so I think that she truly exhausted every outlet she could before doing the re-records. She tried to get ahead of ripping other people off. Like she was like, Scooter Braun ripped me off, and now they're ripping someone else off. I'm trying to get in the middle, make it beneficial for these new people, and obviously reclaim my shit and get him out of the equation entirely because he's such a fucking scumbag. But somehow it's not working in my favor. So here's your word of warning, and it's going to happen. And it's like, who are those people? Is Scooter Braun even still making money, like off Taylor Swift? Like, what? At what point are we?
I wonder how long, because it said like many years.
It was
So it
probably
didn't
like
say
a
like, you know, for
contingent
the rest of his life.
It was probably like 20 years.
Yeah, so I'm sure
he's
he's still making. I mean, that was only 5 years ago, so I'm sure he's still making money off of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean more so like I would love to see the difference. And obviously we know that the streams for the the original Taylor's albums, people still play them, but I wonder what the drop off has been. Like, you know, the streams that he makes money on versus like the streams she makes money on.
Well,
like,
honestly,
I would love if it were leaning more towards her, but yeah,
I really don't know if it is, because I feel like every like week there's a new tweet that's like, oh, you know, blank space.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Has grossed 600 billion listens or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, people are still very much listening to the
for
stolen
sure,
versions.
and I would like to know how much truth there is to that. Like, though, even those sources, like Pop Crave's not tweeting that. You know what I mean? It's like other Swiftie.
It's like Swift accounts.
It's like either Swift accounts or it's like, you know, other Stan accounts. Like and again, Pop Crave really not that trustworthy. You see, Chaperone says, "Fuck Pop Crave."
Yeah, I did see that.
I thought that was funny too.
Like,
but
yeah, well, I mean, like, Blank Space has 2 billion streams now.
Right, that's crazy. But that's like since 2014, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So, you know, it's like,
no,
of
right,
course,
right.
it's
But like,
but it hasn't. Like I saw those same tweets. I saw Blank Space and I saw I forget what the other one was. There were two that it was like has surpassed.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And I was pissed off about it. And I saw it, but I do think that there. I don't know. I think there has to be some sort of truth to.
I just feel like
to planting those stories to make people think like. I'm so it eats me up at night. Like it eats me up at all hours of the day thinking about like what is real and what are we trying to be convinced is real. And I know I'm always bringing that up, and I'm not saying that and like I don't want to sound crazy, but especially this, and especially knowing what he is capable of and what his label is capable of, that his whole game is manipulation, and it always has been. And he's still doing it.
But if anything, that just like I don't know. I feel
he's
like
a sleazy salesman. You know,
what's
he'll
the
do
benefit of like
he'll stop
having
at
a
nothing.
Swiftie account tweet that?
Because then it riles up the other people who are like, yeah, look, we were right. We like the originals better. Fuck it. Let's just listen to the originals. Like it shows people that it absolves people of the guilt that Taylor is talking about. Taylor in this thing is like, I don't want my fans to feel guilty for listening to the other versions. And right now, the guilt, comes with Reputation and Debut because they don't have new versions yet. But those who never felt guilty in the first place and just want to be like, the originals are better. Like the more people think that other people think that way, the more streams they will get. You know what I'm saying? Like it's planting seeds, and that's their best thing. Like that's what they've got going. You know, because outside of Twitter. Like have we seen people be like Blank Space is streaming #1? Like that's not on Billboard, Instagram, or any credible source saying that like the originals are outperforming the re-records. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see it if that's true. I believe people are still streaming them, but are they outperforming the Taylor's versions?
Yeah, I guess I don't know the answer to that. I
can't imagine they are.
I have
or
a
it's all
hard
we hear
time
about
thinking that like it's like a conspiracy of Scooter Braun using the streaming numbers in his advantage.
Gia, I think you're forgetting that Scooter Braun DM'd me. So he's not above anything.
Yeah, but
he sees everything. He listens to everything. He's a narcissist. He's on a downward spiral. Everyone hates him. I guarantee he's wrapped up in this Diddy bullshit. Like, I put nothing past him. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
This point. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I agree that he's a sleaze bag for sure. Like, the guy sucks 100%.
This just to me is like, if people within the walls of
it's like
Barstool
Swift
Sports
society.
are
It's
paying for bots to change perception on people, then so's Scooter Braun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't
People do
know.
that all the time. So that's where it's too easy to like do it now. And again, you know, we're learning. I'm personally feeling a lot of this about, you know, the Justin Blake thing. Like, I feel like the Justin bots are like, I'm sure there are Justin Baldoni fans who truly believe he's innocent, but I also think a lot of that is planting seeds to then make 15 people have the same opinion on TikTok because they feel like they're going to get engagement because, oh, look, other people feel the same way. Like, I feel like that's how news happens now. That's how that's how manipulation is happening now.
But couldn't you make the argument that, like, when, say, like, a Swiftie account tweets, like, oh, 1989, blah, 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 surpasses this amount of streams, don't you think it would make people be like, oh, like, we should stream the real version, like, or the Taylor's version, because, like, now people are, like, we need to get the Taylor's version, like, to the same numbers.
No, but I'm saying that I don't think that the originals are surpassing the Taylor's versions. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can keep...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when those Twitter accounts tweet, like, oh, the stolen version has surpassed blah, 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 like, I feel like I always see in the replies, like, oh, like, we got to stream the Taylor's version, like, stream Taylor's version.
Yeah, but then are you not seeing the people also being like, well, duh, because it's trash? I mean, look what you made me do, everybody. I think that guy everyone hates, who Swiftologist or whatever, is like, we already knew this was bootleg. We already knew this sucked.
Yeah.
And people are talking shit about, people always talk shit about the new versions. And I think that even seeing a little bit of it and seeing, like, people are obsessed with stats. So if they see a stat, they'll be like, oh, well, everybody's listening to Blank Space original, so I might as well, because I actually do like it better, and let me see if I like it better. And it plants seeds in people's heads. Like, that's I don't know. I just feel like I feel like people trust what they see too much. People aren't, like, I don't think I'm coming through with conspiracy theories. I think I'm coming through with facts, and I think that people don't want to admit that, like, the internet's not safe and Twitter's not safe and it's not a reliable source.
I don't know. Personally, I just think tweeting the tweets with Taylor's, like, streaming numbers, I don't.
So you're saying you don't believe that the stolen versions are I'm saying that I don't believe the stolen versions are getting as many streams as they're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think they're getting as many streams as they're saying, and I think that they are framing the tweets to sound like they're getting more and more popular, as if people are abandoning Taylor's version and going back. Like, do you not see that? Is that not what you see?
I think you're thinking way too much.
I think you're not thinking enough about it. I'm dead serious.
I don't know.
Why else would we see that? Why else would that be there?
Because people care about, like, Taylor breaking records. Like, fans care about that
stuff. She's not breaking records of her own. It's all the tweets say is how many people are listening to. Like, the 2 billion streams of Blank Space didn't break any records from the original. It's just a tweet being like, look, people are listening to the originals over the Taylor's versions. That's all I ever see. It's like, it's trying to plant the seed that the originals are better than the new.
I
don't think our timelines on any platform are the same at all. Like, I think you and I have completely different Twitters, TikToks, and Instagrams.
I don't think so.
I do think so, because I feel like everything I see is like, except for the jokes. We have the same jokes on, like, Twitter, but I don't, like, I cannot understand how you can't see that that's, like, manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that specifically is. Some of the other things I know I get a little crazy about, like, how I think TikTok is ruining the world. I really do believe that.
Well, that's true.
Yes. I think everyone's on TikTok too much.
I have a hard time believing that, like, the Swift society, like, these accounts on Twitter are, like, manipulating.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that they are the originators. I'm saying that they are, wherever these stats come from, they come from somewhere, and then they're being reshared by Swiftie accounts that are like, oh, whatever. But I'm saying that, like, not all Swifties are good. online. Like
Sure.
there's a 50-50, I would say, in replies on those kind of tweets. It's 50-50. Oh my God, what the fuck? Who are these Swifties who are doing this? But then the other half is like, good, because the original is bootleg. Like it's not pro. Oh my God, we have to save the Taylor's versions. Like people are not having that vibe.
Yeah, like.
But like, why was that even a tweet to begin with? Is what I'm saying. Like, why is the Swift Society tweeting that number at all?
Right.
Where'd they see it?
Well, it just says, like, this one is, like, New Romantics 2014 by Taylor Swift has now surpassed 300 million Spotify streams. I mean, they probably just get it from Spotify.
No, but why tweet that at all? Because it's a stolen version. There's a new version.
Because they tweet it every time. They tweet Midnights, they tweet Folklore. Folklore has now surpassed 10 billion Spotify streams. Midnights by Taylor Swift has now surpassed 10.8 billion. Because they're a news account and they're tweeting what's happening with her.
But if it's a Swiftie news
Reputation
account,
by Taylor Swift has now surpassed 9.5 billion Spotify streams. Like The Best Day, Taylor's version, and Never Grow Up, Taylor's version have both re-entered. Like they're just reporting on
right.
her.
But I'm saying, why are they reporting on the non-Taylor versions? That's what I'm saying. Why are we acknowledging the non-Taylor versions as a Taylor Swift
Because it's
account?
still her music.
No. 1989. Why would we talk about 1989 not Taylor's version on a Taylor Swift account?
Well, because if it surpasses a big amount of streams or hits a milestone, it's still her songs. Just because she doesn't own them doesn't mean it's not her achievements. I
disagree. I don't think that there's a reason why you would ever have to celebrate the milestones of the originals if you're a Swift account now, like presently.
So you're saying like if Blank Space hit 3 billion streams, we should all just be like, oh,
yeah, 3 billion streams on Spotify. Yeah.
But
Who cares?
I mean, I don't know.
How many streams has Blank Space Taylor's version hit already in less than 2 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want new numbers.
Right. Yeah, but
because I
think that just kind of diminishes all the like there wouldn't be a Taylor's version without the OG version. Like,
but to say that the OG version, people are to show that people are listening to the OG version, that like I'm trying to understand it from your perspective, but I'm really trying to explain, like, when you see an old Taylor's version milestone be posted, how do you feel about that when you see it?
Like a stolen version?
Yeah.
I don't feel any type of way. I just say, oh, good for her.
It doesn't make you think, wow, why are so many people listening to the stolen version still?
No. I feel like, I mean, I low-key was listening to stolen versions for like a little while. I feel like most fans will just click Taylor Swift, whatever comes up first, they'll listen to, you know? I feel like most...
Oh, I never do that.
I
mean, I don't.
I agree, because we're diehard fans. I feel like most Swifties just, like, listen to whatever. I don't think they really, like, take the time to be like, we have to listen to Taylor's version unless you're, like, a legitimate fan. You know what I mean? I feel like most normies that are listening to Blank Space or listening to Love Story, whatever, they're just going to throw on their OG version.
Yeah. I guess my qualm lies with the accounts reporting, because I feel like I specifically see the differences. Like I'll see like this, I don't know. I feel as if there's no need for any Swiftie account to tweet about people listening. Like the accounts will be like, Blank Space Taylor's version has blah 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 streams. That's 5 more than 2 years ago. So it's like you're showing that in the last 2 years people are deciding, going out of their way to listen to original Blank Space, whether it's intentional or not. And then so that to me green lights everyone else, just like it negates the whole point of the versions. Like, what are we doing here then? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's for the fans. It's for Taylor. Like, I don't really care.
That's not for Taylor.
What is? Like, the re-recordings are. Like, she's doing this all for herself, like, to own her music back, you know? I don't think it's like, you have to stop listening to stolen versions, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess it's just like the whole point is to respect
and at this point,
it's
been 5 years. Like, you really think people are going to?
But every album is Spotify. Spotify goes out of its way to push the originals down. So does Apple Music. Like even like if you search Blank Space the new one comes up. Like, you have to click the old one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's not like you have to go out of your way to listen to the old versions. Besides Reputation and Debut, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but also like when I have like the playlist on Spotify, I didn't know that you could like there's a website where you can like plug in this playlist and it'll change all the Taylor songs from
Oh no, I haven't
stolen
done
to
that.
Taylor's
That's just
version.
like Spotify does it for me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure so many people have just like Taylor songs on their playlists and stuff that like they just play, you know? Like, I don't really like go out of my way to search a specific song. Most of the time I'm like going through my playlist when I listen to music.
I don't do that. I do the opposite. I think I don't know. I just, again, you know, maybe one day I'm Cassandra and everyone will see what I'm talking about online. But until then, I guess I'll just have to sit in my cell, you know? Like, no one is understanding. Like, it's really annoying. Like, it's really annoying that no one is afraid of this. Like, I'm not saying afraid, but it feels dumb to not like understand or at least see how it's a possibility. Like, it feels naive.
But like, what's the worst that could happen?
Is that all these haters, all these people are like, oh yeah, this is great. Who cares about Taylor's versions? They'll fall off the wayside, and all of this was for nothing.
Then they can go away, and all the real fans are gonna listen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I thought this is like one big crusade that we're all trying to do all together to basically put these originals out of business. Like, that I think is the hope. And it just feels dumb to not think that people are trying to actively stand in the way of that by using social media as a tool to influence people, which is what happens literally every day, all day, every topic, sports, food,
yeah, I mean,
everything
that point
happens.
is true for sure. Social media influences
we
you, whether
talked
you
about
know
it. Like
or
I said,
not,
we
but-
talked about it last episode. I wrote a whole fucking blog about how there are so many people that use Taylor, good and bad. I mean, whatever. It's just, I think it's naive to think that there isn't something happening in that way. And I think that if like Taylor is literally for the past 5 years been doing this Taylor's version thing, for us to just be like, who cares? That's fucking crazy.
No,
to me.
that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying who cares. It's just like I don't know. At this point, I just don't think that these Swiftie accounts are tweeting out streaming numbers in a malicious way. I just feel like they're just doing it because it's happening. It's a record that Taylor breaks, and it's a thing that happens. You know, we have to sometimes pull at the seams for things to talk about. So I feel like so do these accounts. Like, let's just post. She achieved this great thing. Let's just post about it. I definitely think people use social media to like skew people's views and stuff. But
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
But
I think that they're using it as a tool to skew it in a way that makes it okay to ignore the Taylors. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's being used for bad. And I don't think that the Swiftie accounts are starting it. I'm saying, where does that start? And why are they not thinking like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
I wish that you could look. Like, I might give you my like Twitter, just so you can go through it for 24 hours and see what I'm looking at. Like, because I need to know what's the fuck is going on, because it is nothing but hateful.
I don't know. I feel like at this point,
Swifties, like, it's people who pretend to be Swifties who are also hateful.
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm saying.
They
like,
think they're like making jokes by being like,
if those
this
people,
bootleg anyway, I'm gonna listen to the original. Yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming original blank space.
Let
Like,
them do whatever they want to do. Like, those haters online. Like, at the end of the day, Taylor's gonna break records and blow things up. And even if people are online or saying,
yeah, but do you want to break a blank space record with a song that doesn't belong to you? You want Scooter Braun to polish that on his desk?
Like, even
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm
why
saying
celebrate that milestone at all?
I'm saying if people are saying online, oh, I'm going to stream the stolen version anyway, like, this sucks. Okay, like, let them. Like, it's like she's still gonna make so much money. She's still gonna break records from her re-releases.
I'm not thinking about money. It's like integrity. It's integrity. It's being a fan. It's being loyal. It's being trustworthy. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, she has more money than anybody. She's not looking for money. Like, everybody's looking for money, but that's not what this is about for her. This is about everything she's ever created belonging to someone else, and the people online that are blasé about this massive thing that she's going through. I just can't imagine being blasé about it at this point.
They obviously just don't get it. You know? And they're not fans.
But you just said it's like the biggest account ever. Why wouldn't we trust them? Like I'm literally saying that I don't think these people are fans, and I think that they are planting seeds for people to like feel emboldened to do whatever they want and not care about this effort that Taylor is pouring her blood, sweat, and tears into. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, but like, I don't know. I have a hard time. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe we just won't see eye to eye on this.
Yeah, I guess not. Gia, today's the day. Thursday. Woo, finally. Titanic. I know I said it on Tuesday, too, that this week was the week, but now today is the day.
So exciting.
Seeing the show. My mom and I are going to a little light bite and bubble beforehand. I'm so excited. Got the tickets through Game Time. So pumped up. We have, in the office, we've got people talking about potential Beyonce tickets through Game Time.
Yep.
People are trying to, maybe Noah might swipe those up last second. Who knows what's going on where that is concerned. But what I know is that Game Time is the #1 ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, and that all of us are scrambling, trying to get our plans, our ducks in a row for the rest of the summer when it comes to music and art.
Exactly. And buying tickets to concerts or whatever it is are not easy these days. You got to sign up for the pre-sale, getting it cute, and by the time you make it through, the best seats are gone. Like Kelly says, so many different shows to see if you are in the New York area.
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard was so good. I've really had my eyes on John Proctor is the villain.
Ooh, yes.
And I've been seeing some good deals for some good seats, so I'm definitely going to be picking up some tickets with Game Time.
Love that. John Proctor is totally the villain, by the way.
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh my God. That sounds
it's
like
a
really,
whole
a really
modern like
Crucible?
take. Yeah.
Obsessed with that.
Sadie Sink,
Right,
our girl.
Duh, of course.
So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code TWATCH for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code TWATCH for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
There's a new karma theory out that I thought was interesting as well. Some guy who people were tagging me in like all day yesterday. When Taylor originally signed with Big Machine Records, it was to have this like 6 record deal, right? And obviously Reputation is the 6th. That's why we're talking about this nonstop. And I think this guy was talking about how the schedule of release for all of these albums was pretty much on a 2-year schedule. So it was like Red 2012, 1989, 2014, 2016 should have been what we now know as Reputation. But it was right in the middle of all of the Kim and Kanye drama. So like it would have been fall 2016. Summer 2016 is when that happened. May of 2016 was Bleachella, which a lot of people think that Bleachella was like post or it was closer to Reputation than it was. It wasn't. That was before she cut her hair. We didn't know what her next era was going to be. She didn't know what her next era was going to be as far as we could tell at that time. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Who knows? But this guy referenced an interview that Taylor had done, being like, the only album of mine that I knew what the name was going to be of before I even wrote it was Reputation. And he raises the argument where it's like, well, if Reputation didn't come out, you know, there was 3 years between 1989 and Reputation, that feels as if she had one ready to go for 2016, scrapped it, hid for a year, and wrote Reputation.
Right.
That's what, and I have never thought about it like that, and whatever. And obviously, of course, that means like the 2016 album allegedly could have been the Karma album.
Right. And to me, that makes a lot of sense, obviously.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I also didn't realize that Bleachella happened so much earlier than when Reputation came out. But I guess the only thing is, like, what would she have particularly written about with like the Karma album? Like
at the time it was
like Calvin Harris and like
at the time it was
with the Girl Squad and stuff.
Yeah, she was Girl Squadding, and she was everybody thought it was gonna be a rock album.
She was definitely getting a lot of hate during that time.
She
for
was
sure.
Well, she was getting hate in the way of like she was getting not hate in the way that she got after Kim and Kanye.
Right.
She was getting hate in the way of like, she's a goody two shoes.
Like you're kind of in the publicity too much.
It was a little bit of like, so there was a time where she would like go to the gym all the time when she was living in New York, and she would always like arrive and leave the gym looking like she just got out of hair and makeup with a perfect cute outfit.
Yeah.
And people were obsessed with that. Like they couldn't get over the fact that she was like looking perfect every 5 minutes. Like, oh my God, she's at the gym with a tiny purse. Like, she keep her sneakers in there. Like it was a whole thing at the time.
Right.
So people just kind of started clowning on her for stuff like that. The fact that she was friends with all the Victoria's Secret angels. The fact that she was just like, you know, girly girl, pal, basic bitch in New York City, and people were like, well, she's a basic bitch in New York City and only horse girls like her, and like that's that. And that's how people talked about her, right?
Yeah.
And then the Kim and Kanye thing happened, and everyone was like, we fucking knew she wasn't that good bitch. Like that was how people acted. And after that is when things started getting horrible. And that was like June or July or whatever of 2016. So it was a few months after the Met, which is always the first Monday in May. And so whatever she had planned, she had done I think it was Vogue. Yeah, she did, or no.
I think you
Vogue,
were right, Vogue,
and then she did like a Met cover. I have it at my house. Where she's got the blonde hair, bleach blonde hair, and she's wearing a lot of, honestly, like rocker stuff. Like it did look like rock may have been the next venture, or like a pop rock or something. But even at the time, like only real super fans were looking at Easter eggs at the time. Like I was never an Easter egg girl. I still am not like good at them. Like I don't, you know, the obvious ones are fine. I can like, you know, make something out of anything. So I've never actually really been like good at the Easter eggs. But when she disappeared, because she had been in the public so much because of 1989 and the tour happened and the Met, and she was a host of the Met alongside Anna. Like she was like peak of peak everywhere. And people were sick of her, and the Kanye stuff happened, and then she disappeared. And I don't see, like, it wasn't enough shit talking, and it wasn't enough of like a fuck you for her to have written Reputation based on how she's being treated before the Kim and Kanye stuff.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
sure. Sorry, that was so long-winded. That just like, I was thinking about the timeline in my head.
That 100% makes sense, especially with all like the, you know, all the stuff that went down at the Met too. Like all that stuff clearly, you know, happened at the Met and then after.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like all
so
of
the buzz cut and my hair bleached.
Right, all
like,
of the love songs about Joe and stuff, obviously, like, or could be about Joe, should I say? Like, I feel like those had to have been written after they met, obviously.
Definitely.
So like, it just doesn't really make sense to think that Reputation would be the planned album. The only thing that makes me think, I wonder if she had an album written or not, like, is, and I only thought about this because I was like reading the comments of that video you sent me.
Yeah.
And someone said like, I'm still a bit confused on why Taylor would have released an album called Karma during that timeline, pre-edited phone call. What would have been her reasoning? Who would have been the karma pointed towards?
Well, so I don't think it was called Karma.
Okay.
Like I think Karma, because the first time we ever saw Karma, even as Orange, was in
that
the Man music video.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Man came out during Lover era, so that was a while ago. So wait, I'm also looking up.
But was it in the Look What You Made Me Do music video? On the Look What You Made Me Do wall, Karma.
I thought that's the Man wall. Are there two walls? Like
probably.
Walls? I only know because she's dressed as the Man and she's peeing on the wall and Karma's above his head.
Okay, maybe I'm getting confused. Then you might be right. You are right, I think.
Oh my God! Obviously. Wait a minute though, Gia. You're right because there's something else. Isn't Reputation written twice, or is it only Karma that's written twice in black and in orange?
It might be Karma. Oh, I have to like
in that picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Karma wall.
Someone commented on our last episode. They're like, you guys really need a third mic to like look stuff up while you guys talk. And I was like, you think we wish.
I mean, first of all, this entire operation is just me and Gia, and it's all, and everything behind the scenes is Gia because I don't know how to do any of it. Like we set up our own cameras, we put them away. Actually, no, Gia sets them up. I help put them away because I don't even know how to set them up. Like that's how. Listen, we're not even allowed to have an intern.
No,
so like this is.
I asked
sorry,
for an
y'all.
intern to help us with trivia, and they were like, "Yeah, use ChatGPT."
They literally laughed at us. Yeah, somebody was like, "Oh, you guys should do Taylor Swift trivia," but Gia can't make a trivia game for the both of us because then it's just for me. Like,
maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe I'm getting confused with Reputation being like written on the plane. In the Look What You Made Me Do.
So look, Karma's twice, one in black, one in orange.
Okay.
And that's like the wall they're all talking about, and that is in the Man music video.
Yes. Okay.
And so so what I do kind of think is, and whatever that orange album potential Orange album, whatever it could be, whether it was named Karma,
Right.
then, now, whenever, who knows. I think it would be a mix of like angry songs. We've said this before, but also still a few love songs that maybe didn't make the track, didn't make Reputation originally, because I do think that Reputation. I also just looked. Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston dated in summer of 2016. That 4th of July with I Heart to Yes was summer 2016. So she meets Joe May of 2016, is dating Tom summer 2016, and both of those songs are like Getaway Car, Die Bar on the East Side. Where
Yeah.
that's Joe, Tom, like all those people. She wouldn't have had those songs in time for a fall release.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? So
1,000%.
whatever may or may not have been planned at that time based on her like potential contract, I do think is what this potential album could be. And maybe it's been reworked. Maybe it's like finally she's out here to shine. And maybe it's, a bunch of fucking love songs that were originally
For Calvin.
thought, maybe for she piecing together feelings of love with a few of these guys. And now she has somebody who she actually loves and she can like fine tooth it. And maybe it will be released entirely as something new.
It could be interesting. We never really got like not an inside look. Obviously we got like I Forgot That You Existed, but we never really got like a insider's look or like a fan look or songs about the end of their relationship, her and Calvin Harris, and like obviously like they were like pretty serious. And we got some hints like you're in the club doing I don't know what.
It sounds like he cheated.
Like it seems like he just like cheated or like was out and was
neglectful.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see kind of the karma being like maybe her getting away from him and like kind of like a situation where like your relationship like sucks the life out of you and then like you're like, oh, now I'm free.
Yeah,
maybe it could be something like that. Like I don't know. I just, if someone said to me, hey, Taylor Swift wrote this album during this time and then scrapped it for Reputation, like I think that would make 100%
makes
sense.
a shit ton of sense. Yeah, makes a lot of sense,
especially with the delay in putting out an album.
Absolutely. So shout out to that guy. His name is @ @V_Swifty_.
Shout out.
That's him. And yeah, I'm all in on that because he's right about that timeline. And people really do forget that Bleachella was not. And when we reference Bleachella, sorry if you don't know, Taylor Swift was a co-chair of the Met Gala in 2016, and she chopped all her hair off and dyed it bleach blonde. I feel like most Swifties know that, but if you're newer to the game, that's what it was. And she showed up wearing like a silver and black, like scaly looking dress. Like it really did look like Reputation era.
Totally.
Like it really fit that
the
vibe.
Shoes too, I feel like.
The shoes, big time.
Like, big like wrap around black heels. Those
completely.
Honestly, and one of my favorite looks from her.
I totally agree. And that was like the Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was like, so it was a lot of futuristic shit going on. So it really fit the theme. Like everything was cool about it, but it was before everything Reputation, and it was also right in the middle of her quote unquote goody two shoes era. So like if you're thinking about it from that perspective, like it's I'm there.
I can totally see some sort of, I don't know, karma being the Reputation vault tracks or something like that. Like I have a hard time thinking double album, like fully releasing Karma as an album of itself and then like doing Reputation Taylor's version.
Yeah. Unless she does like a 13 song album. Like we're spoiled with anthology now,
right?
And most of her what was Midnight's was really long too, with all those extra,
with all the extras. There's like 25 songs on that.
Yeah, there's a shit ton. But then like Speak Now came out, only had what, 15 songs? Like not even.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I wonder if
22 songs include. Oh wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's 22 minus 6? I'm so bad at math. I literally can't even do that.
13.
Then there you go. So like Speak Now was 13 songs.
Wait,
so
I'm so wrong. It's not 13.
What did I say?
It's
22 minus 6.
It's 16.
16. Right. Okay. This is not a podcast for math. We know this. Even the numbers.
Oh my God, that's pathetic.
Even seeing numbers,
No,
I can't.
yeah,
like,
no.
I couldn't even do that on my fingers.
Yeah.
Subtraction, I can't do. I have to add on my fingers, and subtraction, I simply can't do. And that's just how it is. But
That's just how it
regardless,
is.
her earlier albums, even Original Midnights before Till Dawn and blah blah blah, like all the other versions that came out, were like only 13 to 16 songs.
Right.
And I think that if we're doing rep in lieu of rep vault tracks plus 5 or 6 others that maybe were originally supposed to be on that first album, the cream of the crop,
right,
we could put together another album. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's so far-fetched to think that there could be a whole new, but the question remains is like, does it be considered a 12th album, or does it be considered a lost album, which I guess it could be both.
Right. Like, is this TS12? Which I would say yes.
I would lean more towards yes.
Right? Because
I
it's
think
technically going to be, if this happens, it would be her 12th album release. But that's why I kind of like the idea of attaching it to Reputation.
Me too.
So that it is not technically TS12. It's just like the double album of Reputation.
Yeah, it could be.
I liked what you said last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and you're like, there's Reputation and then like the underside.
Yes.
And Karma is like that underside.
For sure. And I think that I think that all makes sense. So I think too, though, we're not rushing anything, but I can't imagine that we're not going to botch 13. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, whatever they need to get out of the way for 13, I think they're getting it all out of the way now. If they want to say that Karma's the 12th, whatever it could potentially be, but it is a mirror of Reputation, the 6 and 12 thing. The mirror of 6 would be, or double 6 would be 12. Remember I said that too. So like, that could be,
right.
Like, it could be a sister album, but it could be 12 still. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could still fit. And I think then that gets literally everything out of the way.
Right.
And then we've got 13, which is a love album to Travis.
And I would
love that. Like, I love love songs. I would love love songs.
Me
but
too.
I just, with Reputation, while it is, and I've said it a million times, it is a love album, people are expecting, and not that she plays into what people are expecting, but I do think people are expecting a little more angst than usual.
I agree, for sure.
Who knows?
No, I agree with that. I feel like TS13, obviously, it's just so hard to think about, though, like, having this album fully be like the 12th album. I just feel like I don't know. I would love any which way form that we got this. Was not even a believer in the Karma album or anything like that.
I wasn't either at the bebeginning.
Yeah,
no,
I was just like, I thought maybe it would be a track on Reputation that she scrapped and then went back to it for Midnights.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like now, once I start reading, once all the signs start pointing, I'm like, fuck, like, well, now I believe in it. I'm just so easily, I can believe in anything.
The orange Karma on the wall with right next to the black makes me also clown a little.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's like
so
the
much
doubles.
orange
There's too
and
much
pink.
double that isn't just TTPD and Anthology. Like, I feel like that double has, okay, fine, that was a surprise double. But I feel like we're kind of being fed some kind of double mirror image. Like, I don't know.
No, I agree.
The flip upside down that is another one, a big one for me, where it's like she's keeping things nice and balanced up top, but it was actually hell. Like it wasn't heaven, it was actually hell. Like wait, there's a line. I can't think what song is it. It's like, you thought it'd be heaven, but this is hell too. What?
Yeah, I was like, is that
what I'm thinking about?
Yeah.
Is it TTPD?
She makes so much references
You
to
bring
heaven.
me to heaven, but it's hell too.
Taylor Swift, Heaven and Hell. Taylor Swift, Heaven. Little taste of heaven. Heaven can't help me now. No rules, unbreakable heaven. Hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven.
Right. So, thank you. I think that is it. Hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven. But I think that that's not the one that I'm...
I think I don't know if that's a Taylor song. Honestly, I don't know. I know I can hear it in my head though.
Like, you brought something heaven, but it gave me hell too.
Yeah, but she gave you hell. Oh my God, I know.
brought me through heaven, but it gave me hell too. Like, it feels like a deep cut, like a deeper song in an anthology. You promised me heaven, but you gave me hell too. Promise me heaven.
Yeah, wait, that sounds really familiar.
Right?
Is it Torture Poets?
Yeah, I think it's Torture Poets. You promised me heaven.
Oh, it's LMML. When your impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fake, well, you took me to hell too.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Jesus. I knew there was something, but like, so that to me, combined with that Karma video where she's up top, you know, it's not heaven, but it's fair and it's balanced, and then it flips through and it's hell. It can be both, and I feel like Reputation is the only album that I truly believe is both. Like, it's half love, half anger.
Yeah.
The most hellish time in her life, but probably one of the most fulfilling times in her life, you know, in terms of growth and this new relationship and like all this stuff. So I don't know. I don't know.
No, we'll have to see.
Monday,
Monday,
is 26.
It's very crazy that this is happening so soon, and it's so annoying because I feel like this is kind of it for me. Like, this is where I draw the line in the sand. Yeah, you know, I just can't let myself clown so hard, especially now that like we're like, okay, like Karma's getting involved, all this stuff. Like, I have kind of high expectations, and I don't want to admit that, but
I do too, and I also don't want to, like,
because she could easily just not even go.
For sure. And I think that I'm going to I'll keep my excitement at baseline.
Yeah.
Obviously I'll watch just to make sure. If she's not there, that's fucking ridiculous. But that, and that'd be annoying as hell. But I think I can keep my hopes high enough for an announcement of any kind.
Yeah, exactly.
It can even be like, I'm taking a break and I'll see you in a couple of years.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like literally anything. Like, I just,
right,
at this
like,
point, like, it doesn't matter.
Even like
if it's a video
a new
message,
cat, anything. Yeah,
a cat, a video message. It's like, hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there.
Right.
You know, I'm enjoying my time off. Lots of things coming. Like, I'd be fine with another Easter egg.
Right.
But like an obvious one.
Like a wink and a smile.
Something. Literally anything.
Yeah, I just, you know,
when I say I'll be happy, I'll say, you know, I'll be like, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever.
Of course. Well, you were allowed to be a little disappointed. I mean,
yeah.
What I will say is that, you know, I'll take whatever at this point, but obviously this is never going to happen, but I would love maybe just like a little like explanation. Maybe if there's ever like a documentary or something that comes out, just like obviously there's no explanation, there's just Reputation, but just like, hey, like I thought that the timeline of the re-releases were going to be like this, but like, let's take you behind the scenes and like see why it didn't come out the way that like we all thought it was going to be, because I just want some answers on why it's taking so long. Not
even just rep exclusive. I want, like, everyone wants an Eras Tour documentary. Yes, I do want an Eras Tour documentary, but I do really hope that it's like either mostly about the re-records and the process, if not entirely about that. Like,
right.
I want to see the process of the re-records, all of them, not just rep, not just whatever. Like, I want to see their timelines. I want to see the good, the bad, the setbacks, the changes. Like, I'm so curious about how that whole process went down. And in my head, I feel like she would release something like that for other artists to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the process I went through. If you ever need to do this, here at least is a place to start.
Right. And it was such a big part of the Eras Tour, like the announcements and stuff.
Of course.
I feel like you can't
it's
not include
it's all
it.
intertwined.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because
the
like I feel like the
are
Eras Tour came from the whole idea of re-releasing the album.
Yeah, of course.
So which
was genius.
It's such a big question in the air that I feel like it would be a shame if it wasn't answered. Obviously for our own satisfaction, but like,
I think in our lifetime it will be answered.
Right.
I don't think that answer will come soon, but I do think in our lifetime we'll know.
I hope so.
I hope she writes a book one day. Literally anything.
Right.
But whatever. Gia, the number one thing I'm looking forward to today and yesterday, to be honest, I'm obviously in a funk based on my tone. I cannot wait to get home and to get back into my Boll and Branch sheets. I really can. I need to like live in my bed. These are the days where normally,
especially with this weather,
normally I would just be like, fuck it, today's not the day. My attitude's too bad to go to work. I got to work from home. This is not happening. And I will cocoon myself in my Boll & Branch to act as a warm hug.
And that's your right.
And that's my right, and that's my prerogative, and that's what I wish I was doing, and it's what I will be doing as soon as we're done doing this.
Gonna go wrap yourself up in some signature sheets, perhaps, with the finest 100% organic cotton.
Of course.
And they also are buttery to the touch, breathable, and they get softer with every wash. And you can also discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. So feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with promo code TaylorWatch. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com, promo code TaylorWatch to save 15% off. Exclusions apply, and see site for details.
All right, shall we do voicemails?
Let's do it.
Hi, Kelly and Gia. This is Jenny. I
Jenny.
just finished listening to Thursday's episode, and I am, like, dying with my full clown makeup on. Cannot wait. I have a question for you. I was thinking about, like, y'all were saying the other day, like, if you were Taylor for one day, what would you do? And Gia said she would just run around singing. What do you think that Taylor sings when she is, like, upset? Like, you know how when you're really upset and you really just need to blare a Taylor Swift song? What song do you think she sings, like, her own angry songs when she's, okay, motorcycle, her own angry songs when she's upset? Or, like, it is She Did, what song do you think it is? And then the other part of my question is, when you are really upset, what is your go-to song, whether it's, like, really fucking angry and I need to, like, scream sing a song, or, like, really sad? Like, what is your go-to song, and what do you think Taylor's go-to song of her own is? And do you think she sings her own songs when she's angry or upset? Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Love you, and love those questions. Great questions. As far as Taylor is concerned, I mean, I'm always impressed when she can get through her own songs without crying, because I can barely listen to, like, there are certain songs that will hit me in a certain way that you don't expect.
For sure.
Like, I can't sing actually out loud the end of Defying Gravity. Not because I can't literally sing it. It's the second she starts saying, "So if you care to find me, look to the western sky, because someone told me everyone deserves a chance to fly." That part of everyone deserves a chance to fly. I immediately choke up and I, like, can't sing the rest of the song. Like, it's so...
Well, it evokes, like, a lot of emotion.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, your own songs, if that would do that for you.
I wonder if her own songs get stuck in her head. Like,
True.
Do you think, like, she's like, oh, I'm going to sing, like, Forever and Always tonight, like, as a surprise song? Like,
True,
do you think
'cause
she's,
they're
like,
always
walking
stuck in
around
line.
her dressing room being like, you said forever? Like, probably, because she's probably like, relearning not relearning,
also,
but, like, refreshing herself on the lyrics.
For sure. And that's just, like, staying prepared. But you know what I actually think? Is that kind of in the way that I know that we both feel this way, especially with the pod, you get sick of yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to watch yourself. You don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to hear yourself. It's, like, too much, because nobody needs to look at themselves that much. No one should hear themselves that much. Like, it's ridiculous. It's another thing we've begged for as an editor, so Gia doesn't have to look at her own face while editing every day.
Yeah.
But so if I'm her, maybe I don't even want to think about, maybe I want to take myself out of it completely.
Yeah, I feel like there's no way she sings her own songs. Also, like, I feel like she has such a wide array of music taste.
Exactly.
That she's probably listening to other people's music.
She's probably listening to, like, you know, Fast Car, Tracy Chapman, or
she knows the words
I Will Always Love You.
Every song. Like, every time she's at an award show or anything, she always knows the words. So, like, yeah.
Maybe some Ed. Well, it'd be funny too. Like, do you think that she listens to her friends' music? Like, you know, like, does she listen to the Divide album when she's really feeling sad, like I do?
I feel like yeah.
I feel like you would. Although, what if, like,
I guess was that,
what
like,
if you
would
know
that
who they're
ruin
about?
it for you?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any, like, super famous friends.
Yeah, we need to get, like, a famous singer friend.
Right, super famous singer friends. I'm not sure, but I bet she listens to, like, the people like Shania Twain, or, like, the people that she grew up listening to and
Right, like
and
the
whatever,
Chicks and
like the
stuff.
Judds. I listen to the Judds if I'm sad. Bye Bye Baby Blues. I love that song.
Mm.
My mom and I used to listen to it. But like, you know, maybe some Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like other pop girlies.
Mm.
Maybe maybe like a, you know, maybe newer people like a Phoebe Bridgers, Ethel Cain,
Yeah.
like
SZA.
for sure.
Yeah.
She also loves rap music. She's always singing Kendrick. She's always like singing rap songs. So I don't know. I think she just
I think Travis
I would
likes rap
assume.
music too.
for sure. Yeah. So I just assume whatever strikes your fancy.
What's
And
your go-to angry song of hers when you're angry?
angry songs? I don't necessarily listen to angry songs. For Taylor specifically, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived has really filled a hole in my soul that I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Better Than Revenge was always really good for me.
Yeah.
Growing up. But angry Taylor songs, I go for Taylor for fun and for sadness. I go to anger. I'll start listening to like club shit. Like I'll listen to Kesha. I'll start listening to like where I'm like,
We are who we are.
yeah, literally dancing like we're dumb. Like I just start like anything to distract my anger.
I was gonna say, I feel like that might turn your anger into.
I need that though, because
Right.
if I'm angry walking around, like I'll kill somebody, like I'll punch somebody in the face. Like it's my anger is I have a bad anger.
Right, you're doing it to protect
totally
the other people.
I don't like to feel angry. That's not a feeling I like.
I don't like to feel angry either.
I
Especially
like to feel angry
like
less.
I'm my worst self when
Me
I'm
too.
angry. Yeah.
I like to feel angry less than I like to feel sad. Like I'd rather feel sad than feel angry. So I'll do anything.
1,000%, yeah.
Sometimes though, anger's the only way. Like that I think is like I had a boyfriend. I had to like on and off toxic years, whatever. I had to finally like not force myself, but allow myself to be angry instead of just sad in order to like get over him. Like, I had to
you had to like hate him.
pissed off, block numbers, block everything, fuck you, never talk to me again. Where like he deserves it, but for years and years I made excuses and felt sad about it instead.
Yeah.
Whereas like you gotta be angry and fuck it. And I just feel like, there's a lot of
That's a
bad
good point, yeah,
there's
I
a
agree
lot
with
of
that.
bad bitch anthems. You know what song I love? And I love a bad bitch anthem.
Yeah, for
that,
sure.
that will always get me going if I'm mad. What's Demi's? I love Demi's. I want to think. Cause
Cool
I'm
for the
out
summer.
here looking like revenge,
Oh.
feeling like a 10. I'm the best I've ever been, and I bet how bad it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse. Wait a minute, that song I love. Love.
Wow,
love it.
I like didn't even know what that was at first.
I was singing it badly, to be fair. I'm too monotone today.
What
about you?
My first thought was "I Bet You Think About Me," but that's not
I
even
love
really
that song,
angry
yeah.
though. It is kind of angry, but it's more like sassy.
That's like a bitchy sassy.
Yeah.
I'll put that on for sure.
which I love. Like I love a sassy moment.
Definitely love that.
That's
song
like
for
kind of
that.
the first thing that came to my mind. Obviously, Smallest Man. Should have said no.
Great
is a
one.
good one too. That I
Great
feel like I always
one.
put on when I'm like, ugh. It's always like it's not really anger though. It's more like when I'm like, ugh.
No, same.
You know,
Which is
like,
why
I don't know
like
how to describe that
it's hard
feeling.
to.
I forgot
it's-
that you existed is a good one with that too.
Totally.
Like, we're
It's
just
like,
like-
it's
I don't want to deal with the
bringing your way into apathy. Like you're almost there, where it's like, yeah, I forgot you existed, or like should have said no. Should have
Yeah,
gone home.
like, I bet you
Should've
think
said no
about
is a
me.
little angrier. I
Yeah.
would say that could fall into angry. Also, you know what? Not an angry song, but like that hopeless feeling that's also kind of angry is Haunted.
For sure.
Haunted's really good for that.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's a little bit of begging and pleading, and it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like I feel like Haunted is like that.
Mad Woman.
Mad Woman
that just
for
came
sure.
to my mind.
I
Obviously,
love Mad Woman to like when I'm, but that song, the way that it's sung is that like controlled anger.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm mad and disappointed.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like a mad woman.
Yeah,
What a
you
shame
made her
she
like
went-
yeah,
you made
and that's
her
another
like
one where
that.
it's kind of like you're really making
You
me get
poke that
say
bear
this.
till the claws come
Yeah.
out, like,
I feel like that's
it's-
like the one part where you can like feel the anger the most.
Illicit Affairs too, maybe. Illicit Affairs can
especially
make
the
me mad.
live version.
The live versions, yes, especially. But even still, I've always felt because I've been that bitch on the other side of it, so I know that
Right.
feeling of like not being appreciated and not
Tolerate
being,
it.
like being lied to and being whatever. Like, listen, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this mess you've made me because you're a piece of fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
I've definitely
Yeah.
been there.
Right.
All
right, let's jump. This is a good question. I like this one.
Ooh.
Hey guys, it's Grace from Tampa. I'm
Grace.
just calling
Hey, Grace.
because a friend and I were just talking about the re-record
Florida.
of Rep, of course, we're all clowning. But in the song Gorgeous, in the beginning, it's Blake Lively's kid saying gorgeous. But is that going to be a thing in the re-record because of what's going on with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Like, who is going to do that? You know? Like, is she going to put that in the song? Is she just going to, like, redo it with somebody else to make it seem like it's Blake Lively's kid? Will it be, like, another kid? Who will it be? Because it just doesn't feel right to have the kids in it now that everything is going on with this Justin Baldoni case. Let me know what you guys think. Love you guys. Bye.
That's a really good question.
I will say, I feel like if it is it Betty or I don't know which one.
I have no idea which
whatever
kid it is,
child it is. I have a feeling if she does use that same child, I think that'll be like her message to the fans, like, we're good, like there's no drama here, we're still friends. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But here's the thing: is she was a baby when that
right.
was done.
Like she probably doesn't sound like a baby.
The same child won't be able to do it, is what I'm saying. Like,
and, like
that little girl is not gonna be able to impersonate her baby self.
Right, and like maybe
she's only like 12 now, probably. You know what I mean? Like
right, like she definitely doesn't sound like a baby. Maybe their newest baby.
It's a boy though, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, don't they have a boy? Three girls and a boy.
Right, I think you are correct.
James,
no, they have 4 kids. James, Inez, Betty.
Right. 3 girls and a boy, I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, James is 10, Inez is 8, and Betty's 5. And Olin is 2. So Betty could be it.
It could be Betty. So timeline-wise, it was 2017, so 16, 17. How old is Betty?
Betty's now 5. James is now 10. Inez is 8.
So it was 10. So it would have been James for sure.
Yeah, it was James, 1,000%.
Definitely. Yeah, so it could be Betty. Could be, honestly, it would probably be Olin if we're like wanting a baby to say gorgeous in a baby voice. But here's a question that I really am wondering, because everybody says, like, oh, how is she going to redo that? How is she going to redo that? Do we think that she could, like, do we think that the baby came into the studio and recorded it and so now it's stuck that way? Or do you think that was just like a recording from a phone, from a video or something that they reverbed and put in the song? Because in that case, I feel like they can get away with just using it. They can just tweak it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not enough, and it's also not enough to get clipped for copyright. Because there's like a certain amount of riff. Like, it has to be a certain riff in songs for it to be considered copyright. Like, same thing happened to Ed Sheeran with Thinking Out Loud and the Marvin Gaye song. The like part that they were accusing him of ripping off was not long enough or similar enough to be considered. But then at the same time, like Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice and Under Pressure by Queen. Yeah. They sound almost identical in the beginning. The do 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 do. Yeah. That's Ice Baby. Do 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 is actually no reverse. Sorry, is Ice Baby, and then the without the doom is Queen. My dad literally says this story like once a month. I swear to God, that's the only reason why I know it so well. And they brought them to court, and I believe Vanilla Ice ended up getting sued, but the argument was it's different because of that extra piece on the end. Right. And so it was like a hubbub, but it has to be a certain amount of seconds of time of like a riff or a whatever for it to be the exact same. So I think that little snippet, however it originally existed, if that original copy is like a video on a cell phone or something, I think they can still use the same thing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I think that makes sense.
Like, it might just be the same thing.
Right. That's easily a possibility. Yeah. I don't see why not. I guess
with
if
like
anything,
Idris Elba, they don't own Idris Elba's
like,
voice inside.
I mean, that doesn't.
Wait, she won't have to redo Lover, but you know what I mean? Like,
if
he were in, like, I don't think they'd have to have him redo it. Like, has there been one where something like that needs to be redone with someone else? Like, Kendrick redid Bad Blood with her, but he had a whole verse and a whole fucking thing, so that was different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess maybe it is such a small part that, like, legally you can't really do anything about it.
That's what I think. I kind of always thought that, but people were going on and on being like, who's going to be, how are they going to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I also think that they're not going to take it out because that's like, all right, well, no, I feel like we're erasing it from the, oh wait, here's a question. do you think the fans would be more pissed about her taking out Gorgeous because they want it in the song? Or do you think they'd be happier to pile on top of Blake Lively because it's like a message saying they're not friends anymore? Like that to me is like,
I feel like, obviously
hater.
everyone loves the drama more. So I feel like people would eat it up if she like took it out.
I would hate that so much. I
just
might
feel
have to
like
skip the show that day if that happens.
It would just be sad, like not sad, but like it's a part of the song. It would be.
It's the intro, you know?
I do think, as I said before, like I think it would be a very big indicator of where they lie friendship-wise on how this goes about. You know what I mean? I also
think, too, that could also be easily cleared up with, like, we couldn't do it with the copyright, and the kids are old now, so what are we going to do?
I would love,
it doesn't give or take anything away from me for the song. I could give a shit.
No, I don't care if there's a baby's voice in a song.
I never cared at all. Like, it's, in my head, that song starts with the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Like, that's how that song starts. Like, I don't think about Gorgeous.
I wonder
That's
if they would use, like Ellie or Bennett or Wyatt or...
I thought about that too. Girls. I thought about that too, but that to me, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that unless I'm married. You know?
Now we're pitting two. Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're pitting two babies against each other.
Yeah, right. Oh, and two girl babies.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
James and Wyatt hate each other.
New gen.
Oh, but I'm also get what you're saying. Like, that's a big step.
No offense to the
Kelseys. That's not even yours yet.
Yeah, no offense to the Kelseys, but like we're gonna get Wyatt in here laying down a beat on a track, and then God forbid something happens to then it's like, well, Wyatt's always gonna be on that song. Like that to me is like a deep.
But I guess you could say that with like Travis going on stage.
Yeah, but he just went on stage for a concert. Like.
Right,
she's
going to
be
a permanent
the
album.
re-record of Rep TV, like the most anticipated re-record. You know what I mean? Like it's just that in itself would be a huge statement
for sure.
If Wyatt is the voice of Gorgeous, I'm like, well, they're married. Now I'm convinced they're married.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see.
Who knows?
Okay, last one. This one's cute.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Gia. This is Brittany calling from Maine.
Hey, Brittany. Shout out Maine.
This is a very random call, but I'm just driving in my car right now.
Love that.
Oh, I'm probably going to get emotional.
Oh, do
I know Kelly can relate. This is just like an appreciation call for Taylor because I'm just like feeling
girl.
Just like overwhelming sense of gratitude of just I feel so silly. Just like
never feel
what
silly.
Taylor like has done for us, and just like who she is as an artist, and just like the beautiful music that she's written and shared with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in my feels right now because I'm listening. I just got done listening to Seven. It's like a totally random song that just like hit me in my feels. And I just dropped off my 7-year-old daughter at school.
Oh my god!
And she's also a big Taylor fan.
Aww.
And yeah, I'm just like listening to the lyrics, and they're just so beautiful, and her storytelling is just like unmatched with any other artist. And I'm just feeling so grateful that we're like alive in the time of Taylor. And
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like a blubbering mess.
No, I love it. Blubber on, please. Let someone else cry but me.
I don't know. I could go on, and I know you guys understand. So I just wanted to call and share what I was like feeling and thinking, and of course, the first thing I thought of was you two.
Good.
Yeah, thank you also for all of you guys and like what you do, and just Taylor Watch. I look forward to it every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Love you, Queen. So much. I hope that little cry was helpful. You got to get it out. You can't keep tears in.
Sometimes you just need a reminder that Taylor Swift is literally the best human being on planet Earth. And we are very lucky to be alive during the same time and like be able to watch like all of the milestones, and the fact that we got to go to the Eras Tour is crazy.
It's crazy, right? That we exist in the same timeline as the Eras Tour, and even people that didn't get to go, like. The phenomenon around it is so exciting.
Yeah.
But all that aside, I think the love and appreciation that most of us have for Taylor is because, and we've said this so many times, is because she can put into words what so many of us have tried and can't.
Yeah.
Especially when we're feeling our most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think that I've never thought about Seven from the perspective of the parent, because obviously it's a song about like kids, and I just want, or your inner child and having a friend and wanting everything to be fine, and right, like that's I would say that's kind of the message of that song, and it similar to Robin, even if like
for sure
maybe Robin is like the parent perspective of Seven, and or could be, and both those songs really do make me emotional as well, and especially if you're dropping your girlie off and she's on her way to school
and she's 7 years old.
She's 7 years old, and right, it's
if
like
I was
it's right
a mom,
on the nose.
I don't understand how like moms. I mean, maybe they do and they just hide it really well, but I just don't understand how moms don't cry like every day.
So I think I know literally.
I feel like I would be crying every second.
I thought about this the other day, and I don't know if this is like, I don't think it's a bad thing to say. don't get scared. It's I swear it's about me only. But how I always say, like, I don't want kids, whatever. Which I don't. I still don't. And I've never really had that drive. I've never been like, I can't wait to be a mom, like nothing. But I think that part of the reason I don't want kids is because I think that feeling for your children, the love that people describe, the primal instincts for your children, like all of these feelings that people get for them, it's like, okay, that's amazing that you are capable and able and willing to feel all those feelings. I feel like I feel everything all the time. Like there's never a time where I am not
like I can't
overloaded.
afford to add an extra.
Like I am overloaded with emotions at all times for other people, for myself. Like I got a call the other day from my friend going through a first breakup, like really has not gone through like a really intense, like awful breakup.
Yeah.
And even just describing that feeling made me start crying on the phone for them. Like
I know, that,
you know what I mean? Where
I'm
like,
the same way.
because it's like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. And it's like, whatever. And, famous Carrie Bradshaw quote, and also a lot of other people have said it, but it's like, why bother, wouldn't it, or it's better to feel something than to feel nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people live by that, and I agree with it completely, but I just feel like as someone who's always at capacity, I know what it's like to feel everything all the time. And I can imagine that feeling of like dropping your child off and having to come home, and that like that it breaks your heart. You worry about it all day long. You think about it all day long. Like putting myself in that place and thinking about it like literally makes me sick to my stomach. So I don't know how moms do it. I really don't. And I commend everybody for having the strength to do it. And sometimes I also think maybe it's like, if you're someone who doesn't feel very often, maybe that's a sign to have a kid, because it's like these are feelings that you should feel, but it's like, I'm tapped out. I'm all set. I'm all full up.
Right.
So, if you're looking for those feelings, because I know a lot of people struggle with feelings, and I think that Taylor too gives people the permission to feel these feelings. You know what I mean?
Also, I feel like being a mom, obviously we have no like history, but
we don't have first-hand experience.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not
but
mothers.
I see
we're
other
not mothers,
people's...
but we're women. You know what I mean?
We're mothers in other ways.
We're mothers in other ways.
I'm a
but
mother
I also
to
think
a
like being
cat.
a woman, just because you're not a mom, if you are a woman, women understand emotions and can understand empathy, sympathy, feelings of extreme love, feelings of extreme sadness, extreme fear, like on the levels that, we have the capacity for emotions.
Yeah.
So we can sympathize with moms. Yeah.
And I feel like Taylor's music makes these like women going through this like not feel so alone. I feel like a common trend that I feel like I've seen with like people talking about motherhood, especially when I like see like Kate talking about it and stuff. It's like
totally.
I feel like a lot of times it's like
I love
a
following her, by the
lonely-
way, in her mother journey.
Yes,
She's the
all
realest.
of our mothers that are listening follow Kate Mannion, Kate from Barstool.
Kate from Barstool. She's on the Yak, if you guys know her from there. If not, Kate Barstool. She has just started a new show.
Yeah.
And she's going to dive into a bunch of topics, but she is going to talk a lot about motherhood. Like that's like a big part of it, because she's a mom of
She's
two
always
young boys.
super honest and stuff.
Extremely like the good, the bad, the ugly, she's not like a frills mom. She's not someone who's like, I baked 100 cookies and I did this and my house is clean. And she's like, I'm a mess all the time. My kids are a mess all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to get by.
Yeah.
So she's really great.
And I feel like sometimes she talks about like, the feeling of like feeling isolated and feeling like lonely. Like sometimes motherhood can make you feel like you're going through everything by yourself. And I feel like Taylor's music is such a good gateway or like way to remind yourself that, you know, other women have experienced what you're going through, whether it is with motherhood or whatever it is. And
It validates your feelings.
Yeah.
Validates your feelings. And again, all of Taylor's songs can be interpreted however you want to interpret them.
Exactly.
So just because she doesn't have kids either doesn't mean that you can't incorporate her song into your life and apply it to your kids.
1,000%. Okay, let's jump into DMs.
Ooh.
Okay. Hey guys, love the pod and never miss an episode since Era's recap days.
Yay.
After Tuesday, I felt like I had to say this while hearing you guys talk about all the BS you get online and the clout chasing shit. Anyway, I came for Taylor news when I was dying for any and small Era's hype, but I stayed for like-minded women my age, candidly talking about things that are actually on our minds, whether deep diving about Taylor lyrics and pop news or going off on the current U.S. administration and the pitfalls of media today. I'm here for it all. Catherine from New York.
Wow. Thank you so much, Catherine. Oh my
Yeah.
God, from New York. That's my girl.
Very nice. Needed to hear that.
And really needed to hear that. Thank you so much for saying that, really.
This one is kind of long, so I'll just bear with me while I read it all.
Is it, hey, just following up, I still hate your fucking show and your guts and
your singing
all your
sucks.
singing and you don't know anything about Taylor Swift?
She never,
Is that what it says?
She never followed through, that queen.
She never followed up.
No,
she
she
never followed up.
yeah.
She never followed through. She also really never even like had a question in that.
Yeah. She just
People
just
love that. Though.
wanted
People were
to share
dying
her
over that.
opinion.
That was
the
really
clip
ended up
fucking
being
funny.
really funny. It was so funny in real time, like
Yeah.
the clip of it. If you guys didn't see that full, because the clip doesn't even like there was so much more.
Yeah,
It was the longest voicemail we've ever gotten. So definitely go like just shitting on us. So go listen to it on YouTube. Anyway. Keep
Okay.
going. I'm ready.
Blah blah blah. Hey, Kelly and Gia, I love the pod as well as both of you individually. I've been watching on YouTube from the beginning, and I still look forward to it every week.
Ooh.
Please know there's no personal shade with my comments, I promise, but I have a lengthy two-parter to toss your way. Just some food for thought. Oh my God. Am I okay? Food for thought. We all know that Taylor probably watches, listens, or at least knows about you and the pod because Swifty Dave Portnoy is your boss, and Taylor literally wrote him a personal handwritten note at the show in Miami.
People do forget that, and I think we need to remind them more.
People
are
forget
always-
that all the time.
People forget it constantly. They're like, Dave used it for cloud too. I'm like, Dave's her best fucking friend. Like, what do you like? Do you think that she doesn't know what's going on in this house? Get over yourselves.
It's just crazy.
Get over
P-
yourselves.
They like to forget about that.
They
whole
love
part.
to.
Yeah.
Well, it's just part of the narrative of wanting to hate him too. So it's a whole thing.
Right. What are the chances that knowing this might sway or influence your views or opinions of things related to Taylor or Taylor adjacent topics or anyway, or at least the way you talk about it on the pod? Maybe I'm off, but it does seem like there's some extra backbending happening to make some of the things you sound say less judgy or more supportive of Taylor's friends, acquaintances, situations, etc. I hope I'm making sense. It didn't seem this way back in the beginning, so I just feel like I've noticed a subtle shift. It's as if you're going just a little out of the way to make it sure that Taylor hears your take on something that she won't be mad at you, understandably so. And this brings me
Okay.
to the discussion around the whole Blake Justin drama.
I knew. Wait, before you even continue with this, I was like, she's gonna talk about Blake and Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you both fully support Blake, and I just can't help but
That's
wonder.
also not true. You've never said that.
Yeah,
I say that, not Gia.
that's true.
I don't want you to come down with my ship. Keep going.
I just can't help but wonder if you guys were anonymous nobodies that Taylor would never ever hear of, like me and the rest of us, would you still feel this way? Knowing that Taylor and Blake are/were best friends, are we trying not to hurt someone's feelings or upset Taylor? I totally respect backing the woman in this scenario as a sexual assault victim myself. However, the optics around Blake over the course of the press tour of this movie, using Taylor's name for clout, and all the old clips that have come out of her being an absolute a-hole, or members to journalists or members of the press over the years, my spidey senses are tingling that she probably isn't innocent in all this. Not to mention, didn't she and Ryan steal the creative direction of the movie behind Justin's back? Seems blatantly diabolical to me. Also, I'm feeling like Tree wouldn't be going out and making public statements if Taylor wasn't eager. If Taylor was eager to support her BFF's innocence in all this. I could be so wrong, but I'm not sure I can agree with you girls on this one. I think Taylor is probably pissed and might even feel betrayed to have been used for personal gain by her best friend. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Would love to hear your unfiltered thoughts and opinions. Thanks, ladies. Kristen.
Okay, I think there's 3 points to touch on here. One is that we we are intentionally not critical as to not hurt Taylor's feelings. That was the first thing.
Yeah, like knowing that that she knows who Dave is.
I would say that there's zero truth to that whatsoever. I think, or for me anyway. Like,
yeah.
If I dislike something, I'm trying to think of a way to say it that doesn't sound like I'm just like being careful about what I'm saying. I think that there is always a way to creatively constructively disagree or dislike something without having to be like, oh, that sucks. Or, I don't like this. Or, oh, I don't like that. Like, it's, say something nice or say nothing at all.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of how it is. So, like, you guys don't hear if there's something about Taylor's music or I mean, I can't think of one thing I don't like that she herself does. But it's like, what does she do? She's, you know what I mean? She goes out with her boyfriend and she writes good songs.
And I feel like we're like
she's
honest
not controversial
about music opinions. Like
totally.
we don't hold back when we say
totally.
Like,
I mean, I go off every other week saying how I don't like the Red album.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you know what I'm saying? And everyone is like, that's her. People say that Tortured Poets is like grown up Red. I'm like,
I saw that.
I was like, I think Red is for babies. Like, and I'll say it. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, the more time that goes on, like, the more I hate Red. So, like, that's not true either. The Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff. I think when we started bringing up on the podcast, it was because Blake was Taylor's friend and it sounded like a bunch of bullshit. I started shifting personally on Team Blake when I saw the overwhelming onslaught online pro Justin. Something didn't smell right to me. I've been saying it now for months, probably a year at this point. I don't even know how long we've been talking about Justin and Blake. But I think and I think that both things can be true. I think it sucks and it's annoying that Blake was cringy over text and brought Taylor into this via text. That was, by the way, released by Justin. So really Justin brought Taylor into it in the media.
Right.
Which is what bothers me as well. And I think that legally, why would Taylor ever get involved supporting Blake, saying anything about the case, saying anything about the movie? I think the second that Blake is saying, I'm suing this guy, stay out of it, she's staying out of it, pro or con. And I think that that's just good legal advice. I don't think that is like...
And also, like,
friends,
the fact that she
whatever.
already was involved in the case, like, Justin brought her name into it, whatever.
Immediately,
and, like, Blake,
he brought her name
into
into
it.
it.
Why... making a statement is just going to add more fuel to the fire, I feel
100%. And I also think, like, the statement was made. Like, the statement was made when it got to a point where it was like, all they're doing is looping Taylor into this when she has literally nothing to do about it. Tree made a statement, and that should have been it.
Yeah.
And then Justin's team came back again, and they were like, we know this exists, we know this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And the judge was like, we can't use this because we understand, it's very clearly just trying to sway the court of public opinion. The entire, from my perspective, the entire case that Justin Baldoni and his lawyers are building at this point, the real case happening next March, is the court of public opinion and swaying it on their side. And that frustrates me to no end because it goes back to that media literacy thing, goes back to what we were talking about before. I think that people can't tell that it is too easy to be swindled by what's going on the internet. Here's actually another good example of that. You saw the shit that happened with Roan yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So Roan, who is our friend at work, his personal Twitter account got hacked. He has like a show that he does on Wednesdays, and he's usually doing wacky shit for the show. And he tweeted something like, working something out with Stool Presidente, who Dave is like he's involved in like day trading and crypto stuff and things that I don't understand at all. But Roan tweeted like some sort of crypto wallet address, and we were told that a coin, whatever this means, a coin was created and a bunch of people lost a bunch of money on it because someone hacked Roan's account. What they also did was reply to his tweet with an AI video of Roan holding up. It was Roan. Like, I don't, he must have a video of him somewhere holding up a piece of paper saying something, because it was Roan holding up a piece of paper with the date saying, I'm not hacked. And that was our friend.
Yeah.
And then now, like an hour later, 2 hours later, from his show account was like, this is the real Roan. My account was hacked. I'm sorry to everyone that got scammed by these Bitcoin people. Now we're getting emails as a company being like, make sure your two-factor authentication's on, this, that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So if that can happen over the smallest thing inside these walls, How are people not understanding that shit like this happens constantly all over the internet, period, is what I'm saying. So with the Justin Baldoni stuff and the suddenly everyone hates Blake Lively out of nowhere after being a darling for years, it's confusing to me. And I understand that there's a million interviews where she was a bitch or she looks like a bitch. And I understand that everyone says she's a bitch and everyone says she's a cringy person and this and that. None of those things are a crime, though, is what I'm saying. Like, sexual assault is a crime.
Yeah.
And so I have, until I see a sexual court case fall apart with proper evidence, I'm gonna believe Blake.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if for the Justin fans that listen to Candace Owens, who is a grifter. You're wrong to listen to Candace Owens. Like, she is not the person to listen to.
Yeah.
On anything.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on all those things. I 2 points. One, with the Blake Justin thing. Yeah, I feel like we've never held back on opinions per se. Also, it's hard because we don't know the truth. So if I start spewing all this shit about how Blake Lively's this, Blake Lively's that, and then all of a sudden I'm eating crow in 2 weeks, like, that's really embarrassing. And also, like, that's just not good.
It's also
journalism.
irresponsible.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the whole point. The clickbait. It's like, why would we talk about that? Why would it be like, ooh, did you see Blake's threatening Taylor? She better watch her fucking back.
Yeah,
until
like
3 days later. Oh, did you see the judge threw that all out?
Yeah,
probably not true. Who cares? That's
like,
dumb. That's not like misleading. It's fake news.
I just feel like, like you said, it's irresponsible to be so heavily on not be so heavily on one side, but, you know, pick a side 100% and be like, this person's wrong for this reason, this person's wrong for that reason. Especially when it comes to Blake, like you said, the onslaught of hate that just like popped up out of nowhere when this started going on is just so crazy to me that it just seems like it's construed in some way. I also feel like people just love to hate on a woman that's like high in her career. Every time that there's like a peak in the career, it's
my
like
shit started kicking in. Was like, this is no longer about the movie, about the lawsuit, about Justin. This is an excuse for everyone else to pile on and hate a woman who's done nothing wrong except tell a woman who said she looked pregnant back and had an attitude about it. Yeah, and that woman, by the way, has been proven. Paid by TMZ, has been used in several court cases.
That woman posted that clip during when the hate was starting to get really bad for Blake. She posted that clip on her own channel,
and she's collected. It's on record. She's collected checks from other people. Like, it's not just she is a frequent witness to these things.
Like you said, there's no crime to being a bitch.
No,
and also
isn't.
like,
and if you don't like Blake, that's one thing. But
it's like bitchy women get such a fucking like shit on all the time, and it's like, God, it's just like, if a woman has a little sass, like, just let her be sassy. Like,
or is she a bitch or is she assertive?
Yeah,
you know, when we see the thing all the time where it's like when girls grow up and they say that they say what they want and they're opinionated, they're called bossy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I acting like a boss? Are only boys allowed to act like bosses? Why can't I act like a boss?
Like Nicki Minaj, what did Nicki Minaj say? She was like, she said, like, when, I think she literally said that, like, when I'm bitchy, I'm a bitch, but when it's a man, he's a boss. Like, why can't I be?
Yeah, exactly. It's,
boss, bitch.
I'm so sick of running as fast as I can. It's that kind of energy.
And I just have like a hard time jumping on a hate train bandwagon for like someone that we don't even know deserves all the hate and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is all legal stuff that we like really don't know what's true or not yet, and the trial doesn't happen for a really long time. So I just don't like the idea of like piling onto this woman who's already getting so much hate. And I feel like, you know, I've definitely, I don't think I've bit my tongue on the situation. I just feel like I don't know enough to be spewing out opinions that just probably aren't correct at all.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look like an idiot.
Right.
And also I feel like I said, you know, last week or 2 weeks ago that I felt like Blake screwed up bringing Taylor's name into the whole thing.
For sure, which I am in complete agreement with. Like, but I also don't think, and I think we said this, I don't think anybody thought that those texts are going to go anywhere. Like
1,000%.
The texts I'm sending, like, you know, if I'm name dropping my friends because I want to look cool, that's against the law. Like, no, it's not. And yes, it sucks now that's it. But that's someone who Blake sends those texts, right? Being like, Blake, or like, Taylor and Ryan are my dragons. She's implying that Taylor's her best friend, her husband is her best friend, and they both have her back. That's the implication there. She sent it in a cringy way. She's not saying it in a threatening way, and I truly believe that. But the way that it was then released and presented to the public fit the narrative that Justin Baldoni's team wanted it to.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand, why people can't decode the narratives on both camps.
Yeah.
But Justin Baldoni started it off, and they're the ones that brought Taylor into it, not Blake.
Yeah.
Like, Blake, yes, said her name in a text to her co-director on a movie because it's her best fucking friend. That's different. He brought her into the lawsuit.
Yeah. And also,
people conveniently forget that every chance they get.
And to jump back to the, you know, she said, like, do you ever feel like your opinions get swayed or anything like that because, like, you feel like, you know, Taylor might hear it or whatever?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't think that we do that. I think that if we have an opinion, we'll say it, like, very much of the time. I will say, you know, after the whole, like, Liam Payne thing, I feel like I feel like I do now try to think before I give an opinion, or try to think before
100%.
I say really truly like anything like mean or too far, or something that I would say with a friend.
100%. Like how
Sometimes
yesterday I
have
said
to
Elizabeth
think-
Moss had a weird face. Like I was like all night long being like, fuck, I'm gonna get canceled for saying
Yeah, like
because I was too mean.
you
Like
have to
why did
be-
I say that?
Especially
you know?
nowadays where people get so fucking offended up the ass about the littlest things nowadays. I do feel like now I try to be careful with how much I'll say or how much opinion I'll give. I don't think I'll hold back on like you know where I'll lie on a certain thing, but like I felt so guilty and gross after that whole Liam Payne thing that
and there's just no need to pile on everyone.
Yes,
like
I agree.
People are people too, and I think that like, and my perception, or no, not perception, I guess. Yeah, perception too fits, but also the way that I personally, and I feel the Liam thing has made you feel the same, is like when talking about celebrities, I talk about them differently now. Like I used to in like the early 2010, 2015s, whatever, like those times, I was very I'd like if a celebrity came out and said something, I'd be like, oh, that fucking idiot bitch, what a dumbass. Like I would say stuff like that about any celebrity. Or I'd be like, oh, she's probably sleeping around. Like I sound like the tabloids because that's how people talked about celebrities at the time. Now, knowing, like having felt like shit because of online hate, having seen online hate for other people that is unjustified, and just kind of knowing a peek behind the curtain and how untrue things can be that you say online, it makes me want to actively not be like the freaks on Facebook
1,000%.
or the teenagers on Twitter or the, you know, the people that don't actually have a grasp on reality. And so I think that has certainly come with age for sure, but also just has come with other things. And you're right, the Liam thing, like we don't rehash the whole thing, but like a week before he died, or what, like 2 days before he died,
literally, I think like 2 days before he died.
We were going off being like, what's he going on about? Whatever. Like, we were not nice about it.
He's a freak.
Yeah, we were not nice about it. And then
Cloud chaser.
had that horrible tragedy happen, and that is just like, you can't. Now we live with that, you know what I mean? It's like there's no need to. He was clearly not doing well. He was clearly sick, clearly needing help. Like there was no need to pile on. Same thing with Justin Bieber. Like we didn't even talk about Justin Bieber and the Vogue, Haley on Vogue.
It's just
being like once I told her she never got on Vogue. It's like, yeah, Haley, you should probably leave him, but he's sick. Like there's something wrong with him.
There's clearly something wrong.
It's not fun to talk about those things.
We'll never like hold back on an opinion or anything when it comes to like. Or should I say, we'll never hold back on an opinion or anything, but when it comes to people's personal lives or like, you know, things that they're going through or like things that like require, you know, an objective opinion where like one side is kind of like evil, detrimental.
Right.
It's like we're not gonna do that. It just feels yucky. And
would you do that as I wouldn't do that like out, not on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I feel like those are things I'm trying to not do in real life. Why would I then like put a character on and like be a total fucking bitch on a podcast?
But
like there's no need
anything
for that.
Taylor wise, like anything like, you know, if she puts out a song that we don't like, if she wears an outfit that we don't like, I feel like we're pretty honest about that.
For sure.
Like
a couple, I mean, I don't know how many years back, not that many years, I wrote a whole blog talking shit about Selena Gomez and how I think she needs to get her shit together.
Right.
And how she's embarrassing herself. I literally wrote like 10,000 words about how Selena Gomez is fucking her shit up.
Yeah.
And that's her best friend. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that was when we were still doing the show. So like, there is no, I feel guilty about it. I
Yeah.
wish I didn't write that blog, but I definitely did it at the time, and it was mean, and it was like, what's the point of this? But I hope she never sees it, and I hope she never says, "Hey Taylor, this girl's obsessed with you," and look what she says about me.
Yeah.
But that's I still did it.
Right.
It's not like I didn't do it because, oh no, what if Taylor sees?
Yeah, I never
Like, that's not- no.
ever had the thought in my mind like, oh, I'm not going to say this because of the chance that Taylor
Yeah.
might see this.
For sure.
Because that's just, we can't do the show.
You can't do
if
the
we
show
start
like
thinking
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also like the ego we would have to be like, oh, like she might see this.
She might say that's
Like,
crazy. Like that's crazy. Like she.
there's no way in hell she sees anything we do.
No,
So like, yeah.
no, and also too, like, I if there is some sort of like blacklist of people that won't get acknowledged by Taylor, like I'm already on it for sure with that. I'm already on it with that Travis football rant. Like I know
Right.
I'm on
Like,
it.
we kind of
I've
already
said too
buried
many casual
ourselves.
shit. Yeah,
Right.
like I'm 100% on that list.
And then
I
ipso
have
facto,
no-
I'm with you. So
for sure. Yeah, but you could still jump ship.
Hell
Like, I
no,
could
I'm
change my
going down
name.
with
That's
you.
true. That's true. But I do want,
If we go
it
down,
clear.
we go down together.
I do want to clear that if you listen back to when we started talking about this Justin Blake thing, like I was always the only one riding like hard for Blake to the point where people were like, you're being biased or whatever. And you were a lot more in the middle and a lot more like, we need to figure out the facts first.
Yeah.
Like that, if you want to put that on someone, you can put it on me, but like, I still feel strongly about it. I think I think she has a case.
No,
for what
it's
she's
like,
making.
God forbid one woman supports her.
God forbid. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be me. So if you don't want to hear my Blake takes, then
Yeah,
move
like
along,
I don't
but,
know. I
like,
just feel like there's so much.
she's
hate
got to
for
have
her
somebody
right
in her
now.
corner.
Yeah,
like Amber Heard had nobody in her corner, and I don't think that she was innocent either. But I think that she got. I've never seen someone so ruined by something, and
It's
I
just,
just
like, no one
guilty or
deserves to
not,
go through
like,
that.
not even guilty or not, but like whatever she went through something, Blake, and
Right.
whether or not a court of law decides it's enough for a lawsuit with money, fine. But that doesn't mean that she didn't go through something,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's not lying about going through something. It's just what exactly did she go through legally that she can like ruin this guy's life? Like
Right.
that's what it is. So that's that.
That's that on that.
But no, we'll try. I mean, we try to be as honest as possible here. Like we try to be ourselves. We try to be normal. We try to be fun.
Yeah.
And I think that just, authenticity always wins. Dave says it.
Facts.
I believe that fully. I go by that. That's probably why I got fired from a lot of other jobs. Thankfully,
Yeah.
I could be myself here and not get fired for
and
it.
I
Hopefully,
not to be the dead horse. I feel like we were talking about this for a second, but like,
Yeah.
like we said before, I just feel like you have to be so careful with what you say these days that like I could
Definitely.
see people portraying that maybe as us like, tiptoeing around certain things, but like I just feel like I'm just so scared of saying the wrong thing and ruining my life.
100%.
That like
Yeah.
or saying something that I didn't mean in the moment or saying something that, I said in the wrong way in the moment.
Yeah.
So, and
Nothing's worse than being misunderstood. Like and I mean, I cried about it literally the other day. Like it is, at least for me anyway.
And then
the
when you try to
number one worst
explain
thing.
yourself, you're
Then you
just
sound like a
screaming
freak.
into the void.
And then
so,
all the people come out being like, no, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, you don't, it's the onslaught. People just don't want to be, people are looking to tear you down at
Yeah.
all times. Like
Yeah.
there are more people looking to bring you down than to lift you up. And that applies across the board. It applies with Taylor Swift. It applies with Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. It applies on this very fucking podcast. It applies at Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Like, it's just way more people want to take you down than they want to lift you up.
Yep.
So I choose, and I think you as well, to lift people up.
we
as much as we can.
raise you up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up. That's us to Blake.
To walk our
Story seas.
Stormy seas. I am strong.
I don't know this part.
When I am on your shoulders.
You raise me up
To all that I can be. Josh Groban. What a star in Josh Groban, by the way.
Josh Groban, low-key hilarious.
So funny.
Yeah.
And so hot. He kind of looks like Hosier.
For sure. Yeah. That like
He's probably married.
looks like he can chop down a tree.
100%.
Yeah.
But I bet he's married.
for sure.
Anyway, all right. That wraps it up for our week.
Yes.
Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Hope you guys have some fun things planned. Hopefully the sun shines on all of us wherever you are.
Please.
Thank you as always for submitting all of your voicemails, questions, thoughts, thoughtful questions. Sorry if my tone was bitchy in response to that girl. I just got a monotone voice today. I thought it was a very thoughtful question and breakdown. And,
I
and
appreciated
totally appreciate
the
it.
honest opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always and forever. Thank you to Pink Whitney. Thank you to, again, everybody who submitted, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Follow
We're
us on
going to
everything.
be recording on Tuesday next week.
Yes,
Just another reminder.
Late podcast on Tuesday, 'cause we're going to record after the AMAs.
Everyone put your clown noses on, put your wigs on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all be watching the AMAs on Monday, and then
Yes,
we'll
we
be
will.
back on Tuesday to hopefully have some fun things to talk about.
Hopefully it's finally here, okay? Because can we get any lower? We'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.